Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be featuring the Lenin, the Tier 7 premium Russian battleship that you could have obtained during the Massachusetts campaign over 2 years ago if you had grinded enough or whaled enough to get the 30,000 winter coins that was needed in order to get this ship. Like the Jombar, the Lenin is a highly sought after ship, one of the ships that many players wish to return so that they can obtain it at some point, simply because of how good it is. The main guns are extremely accurate, even at decent ranges. Obviously, as a battleship, it will be trolly at times, but the Russian gimmick definitely helps this ship. In this game, I am using Kedrov, the brawler build commander, and that is the type of dispersion that you will typically get. One of the things about the Lenin's accuracy is that it is the pre-nerf Russian accuracy. For those of you that don't know, on PC, when they were testing the Russian battleships, the vertical dispersion was very low. However, the horizontal dispersion was quite high. So what ended up happening was that dispersion tended to be similar to what you just saw with my first salvo at the Iowa. The dispersion was very flat, so for the most part shells would miss left and right instead of missing high or low. And whenever you push within the Lenin or Russian gimmick of that 11-kilometer range, you will have significantly better accuracy than at long ranges. So this is definitely a ship that you want to push in and pretty much have your engagements within that range, so you have the advantage against any ship that you would fight against. Something that also helps with your ability to push in is the fact that you have damage controls that reload significantly faster than normal battleships. Basically, your damage cons will reload in half the time. However, you will only have a limited number. As you can see, I only have 5 charges. And something else about the Russian battleships is that you also have one less repair party at its base. So using Master Mechanic, I only have 4. But the Russian armor is very good in that you will shatter most HE that is shot at you. And if you are set on fire, the damage cons reload very quickly, so being burned down is very difficult to do. And here we can see more of that Russian or Lenin accuracy with that flat shell grouping, and you will miss left and right versus up and down. An enemy Yamato is just sitting and reversing in spawn, nothing new. It's unfortunate that this is how the game is played. But one of the things about Russian battleships is that their bow armor has an icebreaker that will typically ricochet or shatter any shells that are shot at it. The Lenin's bow has a very large portion that is 32 millimeters, so we are not entirely safe from the Yamato's overmatch. However, since he is reversing and not paying attention to us, we are okay. Our Flandre has beached and is just sitting broadside to pretty much their entire team. There is an enemy Flandre and a Minotaur to the left that are just farming him, since he is broadside and is not making any attempt to try and mitigate the damage that he is taking. I switched to HE to shoot at the Yamato, since Lenin has a pretty good fire chance for its main guns. I set an instant double fire on him and he ends up damage conning it right away. So I plan on setting him on another double fire as soon as my guns are loaded. The enemy Kleber gets spotted after he just torped our Flandre, who beached and reversed and died. Their Yamato is still reversing in their spawn, but I can see that their Minotaur and Flandre are starting to push into the cap. I am able to add another fire onto this Yamato, who was set on another permafire just before. But at this point we need to be careful because now that Kleber will be free to torp us, and their team is pushing in. Their Minotaur is getting very bold and pushing in. I don't think he's really paying attention, especially since he was trying to dodge torpedoes. So he ends up turning full broadside, and I end up getting only one citadel, which is unfortunate. The enemy Kleber was able to just rush our Cobb that was sitting in smoke and torpedo him, and the Cobb was killed without really doing anything to the Kleber, and the Kleber survives and gets away, which is not good. The Minotaur also smokes up. However, we have pushed in close enough that we are in the smoke firing penalty. He gets spotted and we are able to kill him off. We dodge all of his torpedoes. So at this point we are looking pretty healthy. I look to the right of the flanger because I have a feeling that he was going to try to destroy my turrets, which he did shoot at my turrets, but they did ricochet off the sides. The armor on the sides of Lenin's turret is very thin, so you cannot get away with angling it at 45 degrees. You have to leave the turrets somewhat angled so that the sides will ricochet and force them to try and pen front plates. Flandre tries to do something special with a drive-by, but he ends up getting death struck. At this point, we need to kill off this Yamato as fast as we can because they still have a battleship to the left, and their Kleber is somewhere on the right. Here you can see how weak the sides of the Lenin's turret are. One shell hit and the turret was incapacitated. Luckily, it was not destroyed. But now we are in a pickle because doing that drive-by, we have put ourselves in a crossfire. And this Flandre is just YOLOing out for no reason. And I expected the Kleber to still be there, and he ends up dev striking our Flandre, who just went out and threw his ship away. If you were paying attention earlier in the match, we had killed 3 of the enemy ships without any of ours dying, and at this point we are now losing. So we've lost 6 ships from that point, and they've only lost 2. Our team has been trying to throw this game so hard, and we are stuck here and forced to try and do our best to bring this back from a defeat. Unfortunately, after we kill the Kleber, there is still one more destroyer, and it is a Shimakaze. We see his torpedoes coming from our spawn, so we know we are safe for the moment. However, the Shimakaze does get spotted, and since he was on such low HP, I expected our Riga to turn his turrets and shoot at him. However, his turrets did not turn fast enough during his radar, and we will see later that this comes back to bite me in my butt. At this point, we need to start moving forward since the Veneto is pushing towards us, and that there are torpedoes from the Shimakaze behind us, and we will be in a crossfire with this Yamato and Veneto. So I need to turn to the right and try to angle away from the Veneto while still being angled from this Yamato. There are torpedoes that are coming from behind, and they are Shimatorps, so they will definitely hurt if they hit me. I try my best to get out of the way without turning broadside to the Yamato, and unfortunately I take one torpedo that takes away half of the HP that I had. At this point, our Riga is on very low HP and is going to go down, and I very much need to kill this Yamato because we are still between 2 battleships. The Yamato finally goes down, and now it's a 3 versus 2, although our Riga will go down, so it will be a 2 versus 2. I am turning away from our Bismarck and where he is headed in order to create our own crossfire and see if we can force the Veneto to angle towards our Bismarck while we get to his side. Unfortunately, our Bismarck has been shooting HE, and German HE isn't exactly effective, and we can see on the minimap that our Bismarck has turned broadside to the Veneto, and he is not playing very intelligently. Instead of being angled, he is sitting broadside shooting HE and we can see him there in the corner that he has slowed down and essentially just parked there. There are some torpedoes that he had to dodge, but since he parked there, the Veneto is able to just shoot at him, and if he just kept moving, he would have been behind the island from the Veneto and would have been able to dodge torpedoes much more effectively. Unfortunately, since he was parked there, he just died. This game in the beginning we had such an advantage, however our team just tried to win harder and threw their ships away, and it turned from an easy win into a hard carry. Our only hope at winning at this point is to continuously reset the Veneto and possibly kill him off, which would also tip the points into our favor a little more, and we would basically hope that we had enough points that we could win. The Veneto tries to smoke up in order to cap, and he does disappear. However, we can't take the chance of him capping and essentially having their points catch up to ours much faster. So I tried to blind fire him in order to reset him. All we need is to hit him once. I do miss the first two salvos, but I had a feeling he might take a shot once I get spotted, and I'm able to hit him with another shell and reset him partially. And here we're gonna see exactly why it was a mistake not to shoot at the destroyer, and the fact I should not have assumed that our teammate would have been able to kill him, because now the Shimakaze is in the cap with the Veneto and is gonna keep him within will to rebuild, and the Veneto will basically not die no matter what I do. The only way I would be able to kill him is if I can set him on a double fire multiple times in order to get him to burn his damage con, and then another double fire to kill him basically by the fire out ticking the will to rebuild rate. I think will to rebuild is one of those skills that just don't belong in this game. I do understand why they added it, however this is not the right way. It's unfortunate that they've said that it works 29 out of 30 times the way that they want it to. So this skill will definitely not be changed, and we will see more stuff like this. If there was no will to rebuild, I am certain that I probably could have pulled this out as a win if I was able to kill the Veneto. But their Shimakaze is just sitting next to the Veneto, and I can't exactly turn around and push towards him because then I will be pushing closer to the Shimakaze torpedoes. So at this point, if I can't kill this Veneto, it's pretty much a loss, which is unfortunate. At this point, we've pretty much done everything that we could in order to try and win, and this is just unwinnable at this point. So no shame in farming what we can from the Veneto. At this point I'm at 261,000 and ticking up, which is definitely still a very good performance out of the ship. And again, setting a double fire, Veneto damage cons it and just basically doesn't die. And this is one of those games that are definitely aggravating because, well, we've done so much and our team has done basically nothing. This is going to be our last salvo at the Veneto, but it's too little too late to do anything. Shimatorps do show up, but they miss because I'm just angled away. Unfortunately, 268,000 damage in a loss. We have definitely tried our best. If this was a win, this would have been nearly a 4K base XP game, which is unfortunate. Unfortunately, our legendary ships did pretty much nothing this whole game, but that's how it goes sometimes. But that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed me carrying an L. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. And if you want to see any other ships, let me know down in the comments. But until next time, aloha.